Good morning, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards. I thought we'd do something just a little bit different today. I made this card. It is using the Positive Thoughts stamp set and the coordinating dies that you can purchase. These are separate items, and this is the add-on. Yeah, these are called Nature's Thoughts, and it's the coordination product release that you can purchase that coordinates with the Positive Thoughts stamp set. So I used this image, this one, and Friends Like You. And then here's the die that cuts out the flower. This cuts out the feather. Here's the butterfly, and then the leaves. So I used that. Then I used quite a few things. I used, and I'm going to show you how I did this one, this image from the Very Versailles. And then for the inside of the card, I made you a card because you're worth it from Here's a Card. And for die cutting this out, I used the rectangle stitch framelits, and I used the second to the smallest of these down here. And then for the center of the flower, I took the Poppy Moments dies and used this little starburst looking image. So that's what I use. So let's put this card together. That out of my way. And I've got all the pieces already cut out, but I think the first thing we're going to do is stamp this background, and I'll show you how I did that. So I took a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Let's put this down, and we're using the Seaside Spray ink. And I'm going to stand up to do this because it's easier for me. It's because it's a big stamp. And I tried to get this on here even, and I looked at it from this side and not this in case I put that on there crooked. You never know. So I inked this up, stamped off because I didn't want it super dark, and then stamped over here in this corner, just like this. If it's not perfectly straight, we're going to cover up quite a bit of it anyway. And I inked it up again, stamped it off, and then stamped over here. My goal was just to get the background, the coverage for the background. And then, oops, stamped here. And then one more time to fill in right here. Okay, now if you want, you can do more, but this will look good. Okay, now I'm going to clean this stamp so it doesn't sit here and the ink soaking in. Using my Simply Chamois. This is a great time to purchase products because it's Celebration, $50 before shipping and tax, and you can pick out a free item from the Celebration brochure. Okay, also, if you purchase $50 on my website, elainescustomcards.stampinup.net, I'll send you a package of the basic jewel rhinestones, which we are going to be using those today. Okay, I'm done with that. Now we're going to start putting this together. I have all my pieces cut out, punched die cut, and a little bow. And the ribbon, I didn't tell you that, the ribbon is the Daffodil Delight ribbon. Okay. So the first thing I did was kind of arranged where I want things, and I want this kind of off to the side like this, and I just glued it on there. And I stamped this with Old Olive, and my card base is Seaside Spray, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I just use scraps to die cut these out. And then I took, this is Rococo Rose, and I stamped it once and then stamped it again, and then die cut it out with the dies. And then I just put this kind of off to the side on this side of the foliage. Okay, at this point you can glue it to the front of your card, but I glued it after. And then I took glue dots, not glue dots, Stampin' Dimensionals, and I only put one on the back of this flower. And I just kind of put it off over here, like so. Then I took my butterfly, same thing. I stamped it in Highland Heather and kind of curled the wings up. Put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back and put it, excuse me, right up here in this corner, just like that. And then I took my rhinestones and I put 3 on its body. Some of these are kind of loose, I don't want to lose them, so let's use the loose ones here. So put 1, might help if I take the back off of that, huh? Not gonna stay stuck. Oh, funny. So I put 3 rhinestones on its body. If I can get them on there straight, that would be good. Like so. Okay, and that's where I used the rhinestones. Then I took these that I used the Poppy Moments dies, and I just glued them to the centers of my flowers. Doesn't take very much. And just glue them to the center. It's like that. Just a little dab of glue in the center of that and stick it on there. Okay. Okay, then I took my sentiment. I stamped it with Old Olive ink. And I took a sponge dauber that has Old Olive ink on it and sponged around it. It gives it a little bit of definition so it stands out better than just white against white, which you could do that, but I really like the way it looks when you sponge around. This ink on the feather is crushed curry. So I took my feather, I put a glue dot These are from my paper pumpkin. I just put it right here in the corner of this. Like so. And put the feather on there, on the corner of that sentiment. And then I took my Stampin' Dimensionals and put them on the back of this. And I put 3 across here. Just like so. You could put one on the feather. Make sure it doesn't collapse if you want. Just make sure it doesn't show on the edges. And then I put that on the front and centered it right here at the bottom. Just like so. And then I took my ribbon, I already tied a bow, and I put a glue dot right in the center of the knot there, and put the bow here on the stem. And then I trimmed, because I don't want my words covered up. Just trimmed short enough that it wouldn't cover up the words. Make them even, like so. I really don't like that that's like that. Make my loops a little smaller. They didn't look in proportion to me. That looks pretty good. Okay, then I glued it to the front of my card, because everything is on there just like so. So I took my card base and just glued this flat to the front of my card. If the glue will come out, there we go. I wanted to remind you about, during celebration, signing up as a demonstrator. If you want to join my team, $99 gets you $125 worth of product, a free stamp set, a packet of 6x6 paper that's a 48 sheets. It's a sampling of what's in the spring mini catalog, and a little cutter. I've been using it quite a bit. Looks like this. I love this little thing. It's nice for cutting small things. Okay, now we're going to do the inside. And I'm using, like I said, oops, might help if I'd open the right one. I made you a card. I'm going to stand up so make sure I get that even. So I used old olive ink for the sentiment. And stamped it right about there. And then I took my crushed curry for my feather, and I stamped it off because my crushed curry, I just inked it and it's very dark and I didn't want it that dark. So I just put a feather right there, like so. And then I took some Highland Heather for my butterflies. And you certainly don't have to stamp as many things in this inside your card as I did. I just like the way it looks. And then I put a butterfly over here. So that's the inside of the card. Now all we have left is to glue it to our card base. And this card is done. When you sign up as a demonstrator and spend the $99, there's no shipping. I'm in Oregon, so there's no tax in Oregon, so if you live in a different state that has sales tax, you would have to pay the tax. So anyway, I would love to have you on my team. Go to my website, elainescustomcards.net, for information. You can email me at elainescustomcards@gmail.com. I would love to help you create some beautiful cards. You have a blessed day. Please like my video, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. Push the little bell and you will be notified every time I upload a video. I try to do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You have a blessed day and have fun stamping.